What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Rat and Dad channel video, or welcome if it's your first time. Either way, very glad to have you. You guys already know why you're here. It's part 2, number 2, letter B is the bulletproof primary. I'm excited. Let's roll the intro and get going.
Rat and Dad YouTube channel, it's the Rat and Dad YouTube channel, it's the Rat and Dad YouTube channel, it's the Rat and Dad. I think that you found.
All right, so in the last video, we talked about the Man of War and we took everything out of the primary / off of the inner primary that we needed to get to. Today, well, technically now for you guys, I'm doing it all in one day to make it easier on mine so I don't waste parts. Now, we are installing the Evolution Industries complete and total clutch pack. This did come as a clutch pack. I have uninstalled parts of it. I will explain in a second. The cover, which you guys will see in a minute anyway, but I might as well show you. Pretty nice, right? Comes with red spring or blue springs, which are their kind of medium strength springs. They do even have a higher strength springs that they say you can replace / even alternate. You see there are 6 here, so you could do, you know, let's say the other color is red or black or whatever, 1 2 1 2 1 2, and then back to 1. So you can do any of, you know, any variation of those kind of things if you want. All higher strength, all less strength, whatever. The reason I went with this, so for those of you who understand why I'm doing the whole bulletproof primary, eventually I'm going to be doing a higher bore, a bigger bore kit. Even without the big bore kit, I'm making a decent amount of power. Wanted to upgrade my compensator before I have failure possibly, and then obviously down the line want to upgrade as well. One of the reasons I went with this, one, I really dig the way it looks all as an inclusive kit. It's an American-made company for those of you that care about that still. I know some of you don't, some of you do. Either way, all of you in America should think it's a bonus having something made here by, you know, kind of our own people and support everything. It's just kind of a cool thing. For those of you out of America, I know there are some of you guys watching. It's American-made, so it's cool. But yeah, it comes with all of your friction discs and your pads, or your friction pads and discs and everything. Something to note before we get into this, they do not recommend using typical primary fluid. They recommend using ATF, which is automatic transmission fluid, type F specifically. You do have, the reason it's apart is you take it apart and soak the friction discs. I'm taking special note. The friction discs are all the same, but you have to take special note what order, can you get, yeah, what order all of the rings are in, because there are a specific set of order for them, and then there's a specific top plate as well. So we're going, oh yeah, I was telling you guys the reason why I picked this. So originally I was looking at just I think the Screaming Eagle kit, it's like $70 or something like that, just for the different springs, and upgrade the clutch pack that comes on the bike, which is not a bad clutch pack, especially for the 114s. It's pretty decent. I was gonna do that, but then I was definitely going to upgrade the basket from either a Trask or a Recluse. That's right around the $400 or $500 mark, I think, the last time I checked it, possibly even $600. And then I'd still have the stock rings, which have some time on them. I'd have to get a bearing puller press or whatever, and or get somebody to do it, to seat it and remove it in the new basket and then transfer everything over. It was just something I wasn't crazy about. I could have saved a ton of money, yes, obviously, but I also have something that you guys will see. Well, I guess I'll just tell you. I have a clear derby cover coming to showcase what I have in here too. So figured with that and everything, it'd just be cool to get it all done. Like I said, it's an all-inclusive kit. They make it super easy. You just buy it and that's it. They do make packages, clutch. This is a whole kit, but they do make just the interior of it. But like I said, it's just nice knowing that the entire thing, like I said, this whole series, this is a bulletproof primary build. So I'm gonna go with what I believe in my soul is the most bulletproof for the clutch, which is right now Evolution Industries. From everything that I can see and gather, this is a bulletproof setup for the clutch for sure. It's just a all-inclusive, beefy boy, but I'm pretty excited to get it. So we're gonna go ahead and, like I said, this is not bolted in. We talked about that in the last video. We're gonna remove this, set this and this on a piece of cardboard that I have in front of me, fit the chain to it, and then we'll put them on and rotate this rear shaft so that the splines align, push it on, and then we'll get to install the clutch. Should mention before we go into that part, to uninstall it, these are just tight. It says if you are even going to use a torque wrench, I think it's 23 or 25 foot-pounds of torque, so it's not that tight. I'm not going to use it, I don't think. Basically, you'll feel when you tighten these down, pretty much every clutch assembly is essentially the same. You tighten them down until that spacer, or not, I don't know, insert spacer, whatever you want to call it, touches, makes contact, and you'll feel it. And then you're just tightening it. You're not tightening for the spring tension, and these are also always under spring tension, which is another reason you don't need a crazy high torque spec for these. So it is adjustable per the usual. Why we're not doing this first is because we need this off to get to the main nut that actually holds the clutch basket on. So we're gonna fit it. It's also easier to rotate the, I think you guys can see it. It's easier to rotate the well, it's impossible once this is on, but you can rotate the inner shaft of it and everything. The inner assembly, the inner hub of this to get it on that spline way easier. And like I said, it's impossible with this. It's just a whole unit. So once we get that on, we'll talk about the clutch rings and everything and making sure everything is the same. But if you are going to tackle it, it's important to note their directions say to soak it just a few minutes is kind of okay. I heard that the longer you soak them, the better. I went ahead and soaked it overnight. I actually started about midday yesterday, so they have probably around 14 to 15 hours soaking. I mean, they're going to be soaking in this liquid anyway, so it's not like you're harming them in any way, but use whatever you use. I specifically called them to double check. I'm like, hey, is ATF Type F the best, or is there something else you recommend or whatever? And he said, no, ATF Type F. He recommended a couple different ones. He said specifically like, yeah, even O'Reilly's ATF Type F works good, no issues, and he said like that's a good oil to go to. So I just went ahead. There's an O'Reilly's 1.2 miles from my house. Picked up 3 quarts because this primer uses a little over a quart, and I wanted to have an entire quart just devoted to soaking. So I went and picked up 3 quarts. They've been soaking, and as an added bonus, it's red, and this clutch pack is red, so I can't speak for every ATF Type F because I have limited involvement with those fluids, but specifically the O'Reilly's ATF, oh my God, I can't say that, Type F fluid is red. So kind of an added bonus, especially if you got a red color scheme going on. Red, 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 red. Pretty cool. All right, let's go down to the floor. All right, here's the moment you've all been waiting for. Time to put the actual clutch plates in here. Like I said, when you take it out or off out of the assembly to make sure that you soak those rings, there are different. This is the top plate, and then you'll see that there is another thicker plate, a couple thin plates, and another one. Just make sure you keep them in the same order. The friction rings don't matter. Just make sure you keep these in order. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip these upside down, and you basically just start pressing them in there. Make sure that everything fits as it should. Should flow freely. We'll grab a clutch or a friction plate. It is gonna get messy here, and that's okay. All right, now the hard part's done. Easy part, adjusting the clutch hub, which is where I would say 90% of Harley riders either don't do or do incorrectly, and then that's why you see on forums and Facebook posts all the time, oh, it's so hard to find neutral. I can't find neutral every Harley I've ever ridden, and neutral is neutral is neutral, neutral. Yeah, well, if you pick up a book or you go online and you read something or watch something, you'll be able to fix this yourself too. Super easy. And you could do this part without the derby cover. We'll say Evolution recommends, or with the primary and then the derby cover off is what I meant to say. Evolution says after a few miles to recheck this and then possibly adjust it again once everything has set into place. If you watch the first video, we already took out all of the slack of the clutch cable, so reduced it up to its shortest outer length, screw that in as much as possible. So there should be essentially nothing touching on this at all. You want to back this nut out pretty much completely, and this goes for stock clutch adjustments as well. Screw this inner piece in until it just barely touches, and I don't like to use the Allen for that part. I just screw it in until it barely touches, and then you use the Allen. There's an actual spec for it, but basically until the Allen pretty much holds its own weight, so it's right there. All right, once we reach that part where it's just starting to grab, just barely touching, you want to go ahead and squeeze your clutch lever. Yes, I know there's no tension in the cable. Squeeze it a few times. I usually do about 5 just in case. 1, 2. Make sure everything is nice and seated there. So about 5, and then double check that. Still good. All right, so from here, you want to back it out 1/2 to 1/2 to 1 full turn. I do about 3/4. I've always been good. So you see this is right around where it's at. So we're gonna back it out 1/2 to about 3/4, right around there, and snug that bolt down. This happens to be 11/16. I know in the stock one you have to use a socket or a special tool. This, I do not have to use either of those, which is pretty nice. Everything is just easily accessible. All right, there you have it. The clutch is completely installed. It's super easy. Like I said, with that derby cover off, we'll travel about, I don't know, unless it feels weird, we'll probably give it around 20 to 30 miles. A lot of clutch stuff. Obviously, I'm going to be getting used to the clutch myself, so I'll be trying to pull it and everything. I will obviously keep you guys updated on how the clutch pull feels itself and how the clutch feels, like what kind of response I'm getting from it. Obviously, clear derby cover. It's going to look killer. Everyone's going to see that you got it, which is a huge plus, I believe, on like a performance-oriented Harley. I think that's about it. We're going to go on to video 3, which is going to be installing a new chain tensioner and then buttoning up the primary and calling it a day here. Thank you guys very much for watching. I appreciate it. Check out the other videos in this series. Check out the whole build series for the Lowrider S. All the links in the description. If you want a sweet shirt and or sweet parts for your bike, Tucker Speed is where to go. Use my affiliate code or my affiliate link and my coupon code. I do that every dang time. Thank you guys very much for watching. I appreciate it. Until the next time, guys, ride safe, have fun. Dad out.